Good evening. Let us begin simply. Fear in the feed is not law. It is mesmerism, suggestion, repeated until it is accepted until it masquerades as inevitability. That is all. The scroll appears to say, this is the way it is and must be, but the appearance is only the arm of flesh. Do you see? The spectacle has no authority of its own. It borrows yours. I am not here to scold a thumb or shame a nervous system. We will not blame a human for being human. We will not build a theology around fatigue. We will simply tell the truth. Doomscrolling is not your personal failure. It is impersonal suggestion posing as law, and it can be dropped. Be still and know that I am God. The stillness is the law. The agitation is suggestion. The serpent hisses through headlines, but when you look closely, it is the age-old snake in the rope, frightening only while misperceived. You are not weak, and the world is not too strong. What you have touched is the universal belief in two powers, good and evil, wrestling in your feed, light and darkness, trading hourly victories. That dualism is the hypnotism. Truth knows one, power. I and the Father are one. Oneness does not argue with a second force. It beholds the nothingness of pretended opposition and goes about its Father's business. Do you follow that? Words are only auxiliaries, sometimes an interference. I am not asking you to build offensive words between you and your phone. I am standing by in consciousness to say, I will help you, and I will help by pointing you not to a louder opinion, but to that inner law that needs no defense. In the lessons that follow, we will name two simple words, A-S and I-S, to anchor your identity and restore your freedom. Not as theories, as recognitions. God appearing as you, harmony as the present isness. You will see how suggestion unhooks the moment A-S and I-S are remembered. Let us depersonalize at once. There is no villain to denounce, no hapless victim to pity. The algorithm is not a devil, and you are not a failure. The trance is impersonal. The release is impersonal. When Jesus faced storms, he did not consult a weather report of probabilities. He stilled the wind with the same authority with which he stilled minds. Peace, be still. That peace is not manufactured. It is invoked by recognition. The storm of fear is only noise when heard from the sanctuary of I.S. I offer no platitudes to those who ache. Perfect love casteth out fear does not mean perfect slogans. It means realized presence, love, that is substance rather than speech. You will have that substantiation not by my argument, but by your fruitage, quiet in the night, clarity in the morning, ease in the body, tenderness in your decisions. If the problems begin to loosen, if sleep returns, if the hand relaxes before the scroll, then you will not need to be convinced by your life experience, by the fruitage. We are going to walk a clear path. First, to see through the pretending law of fear. Second, to recognize A.S. and I.S. as the only government of your being. Third, to practice a small, doable dehypnosis in the very moment your thumb wants to move. And finally, to prove it in 24 hours. Not as a contest, but as a witness. Stand still and see the salvation of the Lord. In that stillness, the suggestion withers. In that seeing, the only law is revealed. Drop it now, even this instant, and feel for the quiet within. Do you see? We will go on. Now let us be very plain about the mechanism for seeing it as half the freedom. Mesmerism in our day does not always come with a pocket watch swinging before tired eyes. It comes as infinite repetition. It comes as a drumbeat of urgent headlines, one stacked upon another, each framed to say, now, must, threat. It comes as images chosen not for their accuracy, but for their power, to bypass the gate of discernment and go straight to the nerves. The body hears the drum. The eye swallows the flame. The mind, fatigued by the cadence, consents without knowing it, has consented. And yet there is no law in it. It is only the arm of flesh appearance animated by repetition. Do you see? There is a difference between information and suggestion. Information is a message that can be received, weighed, and filed under wisdom. It arrives, and it may even call for action, but it does not compel your being. Suggestion is not content, it is conditioning. Suggestion trains the nervous system to expect harm as governing principle, to wait for the next blow, to calculate futures as if doom was statute. Take no thought for the morrow, said the Master, not as advice against planning, but as a safeguard against the hypnosis of projected fear. Information may alert you to a storm. Suggestion makes you live as if every cloud were a hurricane sworn to your undoing. Behind the technique is the old universal belief in two powers. The feed presents good and evil as twin monarchs forever contending, each with equal claim on your future. Your attention is monetized by that tension. But truth knows no rivalry. I and the Father are one. Oneness does not split itself into competing authorities. Where there is one presence, one law, all supposed second powers, whether dressed in policy or panic, are without substance. The belief in two powers is the hypnotic base on which the whole spectacle rests. Remove that base, recognize it as only belief, only suggestion, and the structure cannot stand. Consider the rope at dusk, mistaken for a snake. The heart races, the breath shortens, the body prepares to strike or flee. No argument quiets it, no lecture on taxonomy pacifies the pulse. Then a light. The rope is seen to be rope. The body releases its emergency without debate. There was never a serpent to conquer, only a misperceived shape to be correctly seen. So with the feed. The fright was not law, it was the nervous system responding to a picture plus a caption plus a cadence. Once recognized as that picture, caption, cadence, the reaction loosens without argument. Here is the first discipline, and it is a merciful one. Refuse to personalize. Do not say, my anxiety, my panic, my world is collapsing. That is to sign the delivery receipt for a package that is not yours. Say instead, a suggestion is presenting itself. Or, if you will, the universal belief in two powers is knocking. That language is not semantics, it is surgery. It takes the someone out of the suggestion and the me out of the reaction. Resist not evil does not mean submit to harm. It means do not fight a snake that turns out to be rope. Step out of the debate. Withdraw your consent. In that quiet refusal to claim it, you have already taken from it the only power it ever seemed to possess, your agreement. Do you follow that? The feed seeming compulsion is not an ordinance on the books of spirit. It is a habit mill maintained by repetition. Break the repetition with recognition. See the cadence as cadence, the image as image, the headline as a device. Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty, and spirit is not detained by a scroll. The moment you look at the rising fear and say, this is suggestion, the light has been turned on. You need not brace, argue, or preach yourself into calm. Stand still, even for a breath, and see. If it is rope, the body will know it. If it is only the arm of flesh dressed in pixels, it will drop away when you do not hold it. Let not your heart be troubled. That is not a scold. It is a path. You let not your heart be troubled by recognizing what is troubling it. Not the world as law, but a pattern as suggestion. Refuse to wear the pattern as identity. Refuse to loan it your name. In that simple practice, you begin to feel the difference between being informed and being hypnotized, between responsible attention and captive compulsion. And as this difference grows clear, the spell weakens. By your life experience, by the fruitage, you will know breath steadies, sleep returns, and the thumb pauses long enough for light to show you rope where you swore there was a serpent. Do you see? We will go on. Now to the first word, and it is simple enough to be missed if you try to think your way into it. As God the invisible appearing as individual being, not God distant, not God visiting, not God running a personality from a control room, but God as God appearing as you. Do you see? If that is true, then the real you is not a consumer of fear. The real you is the beholding presence in which peace is already appearing as awareness. I and the Father are one. That is not a verse to embroider. It is identity. It does not say two in partnership. It says one. One life, one mind, one law, one presence, the Father invisible, the Son visible. He that hath seen me hath seen the Father, not because a person is deity, but because God the invisible appears as the individual. And again the voice, this is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased. Hear that not as ancient history about a figure on Jordan's banks. Hear it as the eternal word within your consciousness. This is my beloved showing forth as you. When that is recognized, you stop asking peace to descend from a sky and begin noticing peace already functioning as your very awareness. Contrast the two identities and feel the weight shift. I am a person trying to cope is a sentence that ties you to the algorithm, because persons trying to cope can be trained by repetition. I am the capacity in which peace appears as consciousness is recognition of as. It removes you from the treadmill of better and worse and places you in the sanctuary of being. In that sanctuary, fear may knock, images may parade, but they knock at a door that is not your identity. The algorithm addresses a nervous system, the Christ addresses consciousness. Which will you answer? What you consent to becomes experience. If you answer to nerves, you will ride their storms. If you answer to consciousness, you will witness their quieting without strain. Do not make of this a philosophy to recite at the frightened. Words are only auxiliaries, but as a private recognition, it is law. God is manifest as individual being. God the invisible appears as you, not as your algorithm's profile, not as your feed's caricature, not as a bundle of trending anxieties, but as awareness itself, clear, present, unhurried, unthreatened. In that awareness, information can arrive and be placed. Suggestion arrives and is seen for what it is, the arm of flesh. How does this touch your hand in the hour of temptation? Very quietly, before you touch the phone, touch identity. One breath, not a speech. One breath in which you consent to as, Father, I and thou are one. Or if you prefer the fewest words, God appearing as me now. Do you notice what changes? Not the world's headlines. Your reference point, you are not seeking safety in a stream of updates. You are abiding as the awareness in which safety is recognized as is. Then if you must read, you read as consciousness, not as compulsion. If you must act, you act from peace, not from forecast. This is not a trick to get calmer while remaining the same person. It is the end of the person as center. I live, yet not I, Christ liveth my life. That is as the presence that beholds is the presence that governs. The moment you grant that, even tentatively, the thumb slows, the eyes soften, the feed resumes its proper size, pixels, captions, cadence, appearing within the one life that is your own being. Son, thou art ever with me, and all that I have is thine. Ever with, already thine. Identity first, then the day. Prove it not by euphoria, but by fruitage. If this one breath recognition precedes your contact with the world, even 3 times today, and the body is quieter, the decisions are cleaner, the night is less crowded, then you have evidence, not theory, as is foundation. Stand in it. Answer to it. Let the algorithm knock at a door that does not open, while you abide where the voice is forever saying, "This is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased." Do you follow that? We will go on. Now the second word, and it is the simplest of all words and the most easily forgotten, is, not will be, not may become, is. We are not attempting to manufacture peace, nor to import it from a better future. We are recognizing that peace is here prior to the next headline, prior even to the impulse to seek a headline. Do you see? You are not trying to make 2 and 2 become 4. You are acknowledging that it already is 4. So with reality, life is. Love is, harmony is, omnipresence is, I am. Doomscrolling has only one habitat, the unexamined future. Its vocabulary is always the same. What if? Soon. They're coming. It's too late. Watch or else. It is a projector that must keep you leaning forward into a screen that never concludes. But Spirit's language is present. Behold, now is the accepted time. Behold, now is the day of salvation. Not because tomorrow is forbidden, but because reality can only be known as is. The Master did not say, the kingdom of God shall appear with observation. He said, the kingdom of God is within you, is within now. This is not denial of human events. We do not pretend there are no storms, no injustices, no needs to be met. We simply refuse to grant events the status of governing law over consciousness. God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. Present help, not future indemnity. If action is required, it will present itself in the light of is, and that action will be clean, unhurried, and effective. If waiting is wisdom, the present will make that clear too. What we will not do is kneel before a stream of predictions and call it law. That stream is the arm of flesh, no substance, no authority until we lend it ours. Listen to the cadence that breaks the spell. Life is, not life will steady when they fix the world. Life is, as presence recognized. Love is. Not love will arrive when feeds agree with me. Love already inhabits being. Harmony is. Not harmony will be when all variables align. Harmony is the nature of the presence that appears as you. Omnipresence is. Not God may manage to reach me once I've read enough. God is the very here-ness in which reading appears. I am. Not a frightened planner of a million contingencies. I am that awareness in which the Christ speaks. Lo, I am with you always. How do you use this? When the thumb has already moved, with the smallest possible obedience, drop it. That is not hostility. That is release. Drop it. Then one quiet statement, not many, not loud one. God is. Or if you would have it in the form that most quickly resets the axis, I am. Then be still, even for 10 seconds. Peace, be still. Let the phone rest and let the isness announce itself without your pushing. Words are only auxiliaries. Their task is to open the door. Having opened it, listen. If a next step is required, it will rise out of is, not out of fear. Take no thought for the morrow. That is not an instruction to abandon prudence. It is a remedy for hypnosis. The morrow is the museum in which doomscrolling hangs its pictures. Sufficient unto the day is the appearance thereof, and sufficient unto the day is the grace thereof. The grace is not postponed. It is present. The truth is not somewhere else. It is here. Before Abraham was, I am. That is the eternal tense of your being when you are not letting suggestion write your verbs. Do you follow that? The habit pulls you by promising safety later. If only you watch now. Isness reverses it. Safety is now. Therefore, you can watch or not from freedom. In this realization, the body testifies. The breath lengthens without persuasion. The eyes soften. The mind ceases to inventory futures as if they were law. And if you return 100 times today to a single sentence of isness, you will not have performed a ritual. You will have returned to what is. By your life experience, by the fruitage, you will know. The present is not a hallway to something better. It is the sanctuary in which the only is already being all that God is as you. Drop it. Rest in is then, if you must read. But read as one who abides in the very present help, not as one who begs it to arrive. Do you see? We will go on. Now notice how quickly the mind tries to help by talking. It thinks that if it can compose the perfect sentence, the perfect rebuttal, the fear will be impressed into silence. But words are only auxiliaries. Words sometimes are an interference. The moment you begin arguing with a suggestion, you have granted it a seat in your chamber and offered it tea. You have put it on the clock of continuity. Do you see? Debate is a form of consent. You are saying, you are enough of a presence to require my speech. That is why the Master counseled, resist not evil. Not because we are to submit to harm, but because wrestling preserves the wrestler and the imagined foe as equals on the same mat. There is a difference between declaring truth and talking at fear. Declaring truth is recognition. It is the simple beholding of what is without strain, without volume, without adversary. Talking at fear is combat. It is the nervous mind shouting slogans at a mirage and then panicking when the mirage does not salute. The Lord is in his holy temple. Let all the earth keep silence before him. In silence, truth is self-evidencing. In argument, truth is conscripted into a quarrel it never made. If you catch yourself sermonizing to your own nerves, stop. Let your communication be yea, yea, nay, nay. Yes to presence, no to debate. In crises, I have learned to reduce the ministry to the fewest words possible. I will help you. Then I stand by in consciousness. Presence before explanation. He shall not strive nor cry, neither shall any man hear his voice in the streets. The help does not come through oratory. It comes through realized presence. There are times when be still and know that I am God is not a verse to recite at someone's pain, but the state in which we consent to be found. Do you follow that? We trust the quiet to do what speeches cannot. In returning and rest shall ye be saved. In quietness and in confidence shall be your strength. Here is a micro-practice for the instant a terrifying story appears. Do not narrate it. Do not title it. Do not begin the inner documentary. Simply feel the impulse to spiral and name it not as yours, but as suggestion presenting itself. Then step back behind the eye, back of the seeing, into the seer. One breath. If a word comes, let it be the smallest, is, or I am. Then listen. 10 seconds of yielded awareness are more potent than 10 paragraphs of argument. You are not pushing the story away. You are withdrawing your consent to be its stage. In that silent refusal, the picture loses its glue. If you cannot drop it in this moment, do not condemn yourself. Condemnation is more suggestion trying to keep you. Simply notice. Mesmerism is asking for consent. That noticing is light. Light does not quarrel with darkness. It shines, and the object is revealed as nothing but lack of light. Fear not, only believe. Believe what? Not a future rescue, but the already present is. When you cannot yet release the image, sit with the fact that you are hearing a knock at the door of consciousness. You are under no law to open it. Wait, breathe, look from behind the eye. You will discover that waiting is stronger than warring. When the thumb twitches to scroll for proof that you are safe, remember, the proof is the presence. God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. Present help does not require a debate to arrive. Stand still, even inwardly, and know. If a response is required, make a call, offer aid, change a plan. It will rise from quiet authority, not from argument-induced compulsion. A soft answer turneth away wrath. And the softest answer within is the unworded recognition of is, if you measure this by fruitage, you will see less fatigue after less arguing, fewer night rehearsals of speeches never given, a hand that pauses before the cascade and without bravado chooses stillness. This is not passivity, it is mastery of attention. You are not a gladiator in the arena of headlines. You are the temple in which the Christ whispers, peace, be still. Let the whisper do the work. Let words do only what they can. Open the door and then be silent. That the one who is may be what it is as you. Do you see? Now we come to the healing move itself, the move that returns dominion without a quarrel. Give not a thought to the person or to the condition. Do you hear that? Give not a thought to the person or to the condition. See only the impersonal claim of two powers presenting itself for your consent. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, said the apostle, and when you take him at his word, the entire field changes. There is no villain to denounce. There is no victim to pity. There is only mesmerism, the arm of flesh, suggesting itself as law. The moment you accept that frame, you step out of the arena where personalities wave swords and into the sanctuary where error dissolves for want of substance. Consider how this touches the fever of online outrage. The cry rises, they are doing this to us. And instantly a host of names, faces, and factions populate your inner stage. The breath shortens, the jaw sets, and yet pause. Depersonalize. Say within yourself, a mass suggestion of separation and danger is presenting itself. That sentence is not passivity, it is truth-telling at the level where freedom is won. Judge not according to the appearance, but judge righteous judgment. The righteous judgment sees through the bait. It recognizes one presence, one law, one life appearing as all, and it refuses to enthrone a second power merely because it is trending. Do you follow that? When there is no they to hate and no us to defend, there is only consciousness free to hear what action, if any, is wise. Then action is clean, not compulsive. Speech is soft, not strident, and often silence itself is the word that heals. Apply the same depersonalization to the harshest voice of all. Self-judgment. I'm addicted. I can't stop. I have failed again. That inner prosecutor has 1,000 exhibits, and all of them seem to point to you as the culprit. Stop. Give not a thought to the person or to the condition. Say instead, a hypnotic pull is operating. It has no intelligence and no authority. Do you see the surgery? The me is removed from the reaction, the someone is removed from the suggestion, and what remains is only a claim unsupported, unlegislated, unanointed. Get thee behind me, Satan, is not name-calling. It is the refusal to honor suggestion with identity. When the eye is not volunteered, the pull has nothing to fasten to. The nervous system may twitch once or twice from habit, but the center is quiet, and habit withers in that quiet. You may say, but it feels so real. Of course it does. Illusion always borrows the garments of the real. In my youth, I watched a woman leap onto a chair, shrieking at a white poodle in the corridor. Poised, she swore, to attack. The neighbors came, the broom was raised, the poodle did not move, because it was not there. A scrap of torn cotton had caught a lamp's halo and shaped itself into a dog in her imagination. The fear was physiological, the object was imaginary, the broom was unnecessary. So with the feed. The picture plus the caption plus the cadence convene a poodle that is not there. Once the light is on, there is only cotton on the floor. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, not death, the shadow of it, I will fear no evil. Why? For thou art with me. Isness dispels the halo. Asness removes the stage. Practice this in the smallest moment. A hook is baited with fear, an alert, a rumor, a face designed to inflame. Do not seize it, name it. This is mesmerism, nothing claiming to be something. Then withdraw your consent. One breath. God is, or I am. Be still. Let the personal drama drain out of the picture until all that remains is a suggestion with no claimant and no victim. In that emptiness, guidance appears. Forgive them, for they know not what they do. Ceases to be moral heroism and becomes simple clarity. Where hypnotism acts, no person is acting. Where suggestion speaks, no law is speaking. The moment you depersonalize, no villain, no victim suggestion loses its grip and consciousness regains dominion. Prove it by fruitage. Less heat in the blood, more light in the eye, decisions that do not bruise you after. And when the next hook appears, do not reach. Say quietly, mesmerism, nothing, and return to is. Do you see? Now we will not leave this at insight. We will put it into your hand as a small, exact ritual, short enough to use at the kitchen sink, strong enough to change the axis of a day. The thumb twitches. The hook flashes. Before the tide rises, you will do 5 things. Do you follow that? 5. First, stop. Physically interrupt the motion. Lock the screen. Put it face down. If you are already inside, close the app. Set the phone aside. Hands open on your lap. Stand still and see the salvation of the Lord. This is not a moral gesture. It is a neurological mercy. Mesmerism runs on continuity. Break continuity and the spell loses breath. 10 seconds of non-motion are worth more than 10 arguments. Drop it. Second name, quietly, without theater. This is suggestion, not law. Or, if you wish the older tongue, this is the arm of flesh. No invective, no denunciation of persons, a clear label on the package at your door. You are not saying there is no information in the world. You are refusing to enthrone compulsion as ordinance. Judge not according to the appearance. Name the mechanism and the temperature drops. Third, return. One statement of isness, no speeches, no lists. Peace is, wisdom is, guidance is, let it be single and spare. A key turning once. Words are only auxiliaries. They open the door. The door you are opening is the present. Behold, now is the accepted time. Not will be now. Say it softly, even inwardly. Peace is, then let the sentence end. Fourth, listen, 20 seconds, no words, no self-correction. Be still and know that I am God. Let the inner pressure run off like rain from a roof. Feel that you are not the narrator, you are the hearing. The Lord is in his holy temple. that all the earth keeps silence before him. In this unworded interval, the nervous system resets, and what seemed an emergency becomes a picture on a wall that you do not have to walk into. If anything arises, it will not be a compulsion. It will be a leading, small, and clean. Fifth act, from the quiet, choose. Either re-enter with purpose one specific item only, with a reason as clear as a bell, or walk away. Let your communication be yea, yea, nay, nay. No half consent, no drifting. If you go back in, set a single aim, I will check the school notice, I will read this one report, and then leave. If no purpose rises, do not rummage for one, walk away. In returning and rest shall ye be saved. In quietness and in confidence shall be your strength. Do you see? The freedom is not in abstaining forever. It is in refusing to be managed. This is 90 seconds. You can time it if you must. Do it precisely when you feel least like doing it. That is the training. This is not a lazy man's work. Repetition lays down a new reflex. Consciousness first, content second. Practice it prophylactically 3 times a day when there is no storm, the thumb still, the room ordinary, so that in weather you have a path already worn. The shepherd does not invent the pasture in the rain. He remembers it and leads the flock there. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. The still waters are not in the phone, they are in the listening. Measure by fruitage. If after a week of this 90-second obedience you find that your body cools faster, your nights are less crowded, your choices are cleaner, then you have evidence, not theory. If not, do not condemn yourself. Deepen the discipline. Stop, name, return, listen, act. 5 movements, 1 presence. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. A lamp does not light the whole highway. It lights the next step. Take that step and the next appears. Do you follow that? Keep the lamp near. Stop, name, return, listen, act, and let the proof be your peace. Now we deepen the work. The infinite way is built around a few words, and the words are doors, not destinations. At first, you will use them often. You will prime the pump. You will say quietly, God is, peace is, I am, and you will feel the axis move. That is right. That is the letter of truth performing its office. But beyond the door is a room, and the room is silence. Beyond the letter is spirit. Beyond your saying is the impartation that needs no saying. Do you see? Words are only auxiliaries. Words sometimes are an interference. Use them like a key, and having opened, step through. Here is the simple rule that keeps you safe and honest. If the mind is agitated, if the blood is loud, the breath is short, offer 1 or 2 clear truth statements. No more. Peace is. I am. God is my very awareness. Now, then stop. Close the lips of the mind. If the mind is already quiet, say nothing at all. From the beginning, the Lord is in his holy temple, that all the earth keeps silence before him. Let silence be the temple's air. If a sentence rises again, make it brief and again pass through. The words open the door, the listening lets you enter. Now, what is this listening? It is not dissociation. It is not blankness. It is not hunting for a celestial voice to pronounce your name. Listening is resting attention as awareness itself and consenting to the presence that is already present. Be still and know that I am God. Not be still and manufacture a revelation. The Master said of Peter, flesh and blood hath not revealed it unto thee, but my Father which is in heaven. Real insight is imparted. It is not manufactured by mental grinding. In listening, you are not inventing light, you are ceasing to shade the window. I live, yet not I, Christ liveth my life. Do you follow that? The activity is no longer yours. It is God appearing as you. Practically, you may do this anywhere, in a kitchen chair, on a train, at the curb with a leash in your hand. Soften the gaze. Feel the aliveness that is here before thought. Say, if needed, once, I am. Then don't reach. Don't lean. Rest. 10 seconds, 30, a minute if given. If a thought knocks, let it pass like a cart down the street. You are not chasing carts. You are noticing the space through which they move. Often there will be no words, only a settledness that is itself instruction. Sometimes a single impulse will arise. Call this person, pay that bill, close the app, make tea. It will be small and clean. In quietness and in confidence shall be your strength. You are not waiting for fireworks. You are consenting to guidance. How shall you know that you are not fooling yourself? By your life experience, by the fruitage. The spirit-led moment yields simpler decisions, less compulsion, and more kindness. Choices stop bruising you after they are made. The thumb that wanted to hurry finds it has nothing to prove. The speech that wanted to strike finds it can be soft and accurate. The wisdom that is from above is first pure, then peaceable, gentle, and you will feel its gentleness in your body. Do not be impressed by inner theatrics. If light and color come, let them come and go. If nothing comes, let nothing come. The proof is not spectacle. The proof is peace, clarity, and love operational in the next hour. So keep the rule. If agitated, one or two statements, then silence. If quiet, silence at once. Use truth as a doorway. Pass through into listening. There, compulsion is replaced by guidance, and the day arranges itself without strain. Son, thou art ever with me, and all that I have is thine. Ever with, already thine. Enter the room and abide. Do you see? Now let us turn the lamp upon the news itself, not to condemn it, but to place it in service. The issue is motive. You do not keep up to be safe. That is fear-wearing diligence as a mask. You may stay informed to be useful, two very different states of consciousness. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. Safety is not in the scroll. Safety is in the presence. From presence, information can be received without hypnosis, and then it becomes instrument, not idle. Do you see? Set a conscious container. Choose times and durations. Enter as awareness, not as appetite. Before you open the gate, pause 10 seconds. Peace is, I am. Then ask for a single purpose. What am I here to serve? If no purpose rises, do not enter. Let your communication be yea, yea, nay, nay. When you do enter, honor the container. 1 or 2 visits a day, a measured span, a clear aim. This is not asceticism. It is love refusing to be managed. Watch and pray that ye enter not into temptation. Watchfulness without prayer becomes worry. Prayer without watchfulness becomes sentiment. Together they keep you free. Now practice unseeing human good and human evil as ultimate. Do not be hypnotized by triumphalism or catastrophe. If the headline shouts victory, do not build your altar upon it. Every good gift and every perfect gift is from above, and cometh down from the Father of lights. Give thanks, yes, but look through the appearance to the invisible source. If the headline wails disaster, do not kneel to it as law. God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. Give aid, yes, but again, look through to the source. Judge not according to the appearance. Judge righteous judgment. The righteous judgment neither crows nor despairs. It beholds the one appearing as the many. Do you follow that? Use a simple filter that you can carry in your pocket. Does this lead me to prayerful clarity and constructive action, or to paralysis and accusation? If it leads to clarity and a clean next step, make the call, send the funds, write the note, offer the ride, then you have evidence the news has become servant. If it leads to paralysis, exit and return to is. If it leads to accusation, depersonalize at once. We wrestle not against flesh and blood. Accusation enthrones a second power. It glues your attention to they. Step behind the I. Say quietly, mesmerism nothing. Then listen. Action born of this listening will be proportionate, effective, and without aftertaste. By their fruits ye shall know them. The fruit of spirit-led news is clean action and a settled heart. Practice compassionate restraint with others. When those you love are afraid, avoid weaponizing truth talk. Do not throw verses like stones. Presence heals. Platitudes sting. He shall not strive, nor cry. Neither shall any man hear his voice in the streets. Be there. Say, if anything, I will help you. Bring a meal. Watch the children. Share one piece of accurate information without heat. Then be still with them. Comfort ye, my people, saith your God. If they ask you to pray, do not perform. Return to is, and let the prayer be presence, realized. Words are only auxiliaries. The balm is the realized God appearing as you, quiet and available. Keep a small rule. News only within a consecrated container and for a purpose. If agitation rises, stop at once one sentence of isness, then silence. If no peace returns, depart. Drop it. Return when you can. Come as awareness, not as appetite. Do you see how simple that is? Not easy. Simple. Measure by fruitage. Within 24 hours of this consecration, look at your body, your sleep, your choices. Is there less compulsion, more clarity, one or two specific acts of help rendered without drama? If so, you have evidence, not theory, that attention has shifted from captivity to conscious service. Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. Not your hot takes, your good works. Let the news be tinder for lighted service, not kindling for fear. Enter as awareness. Receive what serves. Lay down what hypnotizes. And in all of it, abide in the present isness, remembering that the only safety is the one who says, Lo, I am with you always. Do you see? Now we will prove it, not in theory, in life. Prove me now herewith, saith the Lord of hosts. For 24 hours, consecrate your attention. No fear scrolling. If you must check the news, do it once or twice only, at times you choose in advance, with a timer and a clear purpose written in a sentence before you enter. 10 minutes is plenty, 5 is often enough. Enter as awareness, not as appetite. If you feel agitation, rise before the timer rings, depart at once, drop it. Do you see how definite this is? Require the replacement, not mere deprivation. Every urge to scroll becomes the 90-second practice we have laid in your hand. Stop, name, return, listen, act. 5 movements, 1 presence. The thumb twitches, stop. The headline hook's name, this is suggestion, not law. The body tightens, return. Peace is. Wisdom is. I am. Then listen. Then act as led, either with a single, clean purpose or by laying it down. This is not repression. It is remembrance, as God appearing as your awareness, not your algorithm. Is present isness where harmony already is. You are not a creature hunted by images. You are the temple in which the Christ whispers, peace, be still. Now measure by fruitage, not by emotion, not by self-congratulation, by your life experience, by the fruitage. Within these 24 hours, watch for these signs. A calmer nervous system, your breath lengthens without your help, fewer intrusive thoughts, rehearsing disaster, kinder speech that lands softly, decisions that are made cleanly and do not bruise you after, spontaneous gratitude appearing in ordinary moments, sleep that comes easier and stays longer. He giveth his beloved sleep. Perhaps you wake once, smile without reason, and sleep again. Perhaps you rise with an idea for a quiet good deed and perform it without drama. By their fruits ye shall know them. Do you follow that? Use a single line of record, not an essay. At the top of a card or a note in your phone, write 3 prompts and fill them in as they occur. What was the suggestion? What was the isness? What was the result? Keep it spare. Example, hook, panic about the market. Isness, supply is. Guidance is. Result, made 1 call, then closed app. Felt quiet, slept. Another, hook, outrage headline. Isness, 1 presence. Result, no post, texted neighbor, fixed her printer. Words are only auxiliaries. This line is not for performance, it is for your honesty. Now, the conditions. If within 24 hours, even a few of these fruitages appear, a softened jaw, a single decision taken without aftertaste, a night with 1 less awakening, a small kindness done with no fanfare, then you have touched a real principle. You have touched A's, I-S, and it has answered. Extend the consecration another 24 hours and keep going quietly. If, on the other hand, the fruitage is thin, do not condemn yourself. Condemnation is more suggestion. Adjust the practice. Less talking, more listening. If you argued with fear, reduce words to 1 sentence only. If you personalize the story into heroes and villains, depersonalize it once. Mesmerism, not law. No person to fear, no person to fight. If you drifted back into the feed without purpose, tighten the container, set the timer, write the purpose, enter, and depart. Let the peace of God rule in your hearts, not the news cycle. Remember, you are not trying to create harmony, you are consenting to what is. Harmony is, guidance is, life is. Today, prove it. Taste and see that the Lord is good. 24 hours is not long, but it is long enough to reveal whether attention is captor or servant, whether you are run by the feed or led by the Spirit. Prove it in your body, in your sleep, in your decisions. If there is fruitage, bow in gratitude. If not, refine. The law is simple. Where isness is realized and suggestion is unmasked, freedom appears as you. Do you see? Now, a word about tomorrow and the next day, when the old pull shows its face again. Do not be surprised. Mass suggestion is persistent. The universal belief in 2 powers does not grow tired because you had a good day. The question is not, will it appear? The question is, will I consent? Do you see the freedom in that? The spell's reappearance is not your failure. It is only the arm of flesh extending an invitation. You need not RSVP. There is therefore now no condemnation to them which are in Christ Jesus. Condemnation is merely more suggestion. Drop it. When you discover you have been scrolling for 10 minutes without breath, notice what has already occurred. You have noticed. The moment you notice, you are not wholly in the trance. The light has entered. Complete the recovery without drama. Drop it. Lock the screen. Name it. Mesmerism, nothing. Return. Peace is. I am. Then be still 10 seconds. If a practical action is given, stand up, drink water, text a friend, do it. If no action arises, do nothing. Stand still and see the salvation of the Lord. Get thee behind me. Satan is not an argument with a person. It is the refusal to lend identity to a claim. Do you follow that? You are not wrestling with flesh and blood. You are declining an impersonal suggestion. The noticing is grace. The quiet is consent to grace. Be wise about the doors through which suggestion walks when you are weary. Loneliness opens the gate, so does fatigue, hunger, and unresolved conflict. Handle the human need while refusing the hypnotic story that rides on top of it. If the body is empty, eat real food. If the body is dry, drink water. If the body is tired, lie down. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He restoreth my soul. If the heart is lonely, invite a voice into the room. Call, visit, walk with someone. If there is a grievance unresolved, take one small step toward peace. Write the note. Make the apology. Release the imaginary courtroom in your head. Let not the sun go down upon your wrath as practical hygiene, but as you address the human need, keep depersonalization. This is not a villain to fight, nor a victim to console. This is suggestion seeking consent. Meet the need. Deny the story. The snake is a rope in poor light. Turn on the light. Establish a protective rhythm that makes consent less likely because presence is already realized. In the morning, before the phone, sit 3 minutes in isness. 1 or 2 sentences at most. God is, I am, peace is then silence. Let the day begin from what is, not from what shouts. At midday, pause for a listening minute. Close your eyes if you can. Soften the jaw. Be still and know that I am God. No petition, just receptivity. In the evening, lay down the day with gratitude. Not a performance, 2 or 3 recognitions of fruitage, where peace appeared, where a decision was clean, where kindness found you. If there was a stumble, record it without heat. Suggestion appeared, I consented, I returned. Give thanks for the returning. This rhythm is not rigid, it is merciful. It weaves a Sabbath through the hours so that when the feed calls, it finds a temple, not a vacuum. All through this, reassert identity, not as poetry, but as supply of strength. Son, thou art ever with me, and all that I have is thine, ever with, already thine. The peace you seek is not outside your door, it is your own being because God appears as you. I and the Father are one, not 2 lives trying to agree, one life revealing itself as awareness. When you feel thin, do not beg for what is already yours. Consent to isness. Rest back into asness, God appearing as your very seeing, and you will find the rod and the staff are present to comfort, to steady, to guide. Do you see? If after a bright day you wake into old weather, smile a little and practice. The return is not defeat. It is an invitation to deepen receptivity. Less talking, more listening. One statement, then silence. If you fall again, rise again at once. Drop it. The righteous man is not righteous because he never falls. He is righteous because he rises into isness every time. Measure by fruitage. If the intervals of peace lengthen, if decisions bruise you less, if kindness becomes almost reflex, then the spell is losing jurisdiction. Continue quietly. In returning and rest shall ye be saved. In quietness and in confidence shall be your strength. Return, rest, be quiet, be confident. And when the shadow comes, remember, it is a shadow. The light is already here, appearing as you. Do you follow that? Abide and let freedom stabilize by your life experience, by the fruitage